Hi, my name is Ravi Bista, and in this video, I'm going to talk about different types of essay in IELTS. Well, different instructors have different ways of categorizing them, but we all mean the same. I've basically put them into 5 types. Now, let us look into what those 5 types are. Here we go. The first being argumentative essay, and then we have two-sided essay. The third one is advantage and disadvantage essay. We have prompt-based essay, and then cause-effect or problem-solution essay. Now, let us further look into how do we categorize these types of essay. So first, we'll look into argumentative essay. Okay, how do you know it's an argumentative essay? Now, if you look at these phrases below here, like, do you agree or disagree? To what extent or to what greater extent? How far do you agree or disagree? What is your opinion view? Now, if you come across this phrases, it means you're dealing with argumentative or opinion essay. Now, let us look into a sample question here. Here it says, some people think that more money should be spent on protecting endangered species. Now let's take this as X. This is the view of X. Now here we go, say while. Now this is the contradictory version of Y. Now, if you say while, others think it is a waste of valuable money. Now if you take this as Y, now we see a differing idea between X and Y. So what does X say? That more money should be spent on protecting these endangered species. And what does Y say? I mean, whatever X is doing, whatever X people think about is actually a waste of valuable money. Now, it says, what is your opinion? So, would you like to go with the view of X or would you like to go with the view of Y? That is what you're going to write down. Now, let us move on to the second type of essay. Okay, here we go. So the second type is two-sided essay. Now, what do you mean by two-sided essay? Now, in this type of essay, you have to argue both sides, X side and Y side, and you have to pick your opinion or your side. Now, check this out. The identifying phrase, discuss both sides, means the question is telling you to discuss both. So you got to discuss both and give your opinion, means you got to pick one and argue on that point of argument. Let's do this. Some people think, now when you say some people, let's take this as X, think exercise is the key to health. That means how do you become healthy is because of exercise. Now who's saying this? X. While others, when it says others, let's take this as Y. So if X says this, what does Y say? Others feel that having a balanced diet is more important. So the battle is between healthy lifestyle because of exercise or because of balanced diet. So now, even if you gotta pick a side, you have to discuss X view and you gotta discuss on Y view, then write whether you prefer the X version, a Y version, and Y. So this is what it means by two-sided essay. Now let us move on to the third type of essay. Okay, here we go. So we call that as advantage and disadvantage essay. Now, before we discuss this further, I would want you all to understand we have under advantage and disadvantage essay, we have opinion-based essay and we have non-opinion-based essay. So what do you mean by opinion and non-opinion? So when I say opinion, it means, now you gotta focus on the phrase outweigh. Advantage outweigh disadvantage means you have more advantage or disadvantage. So in this, it means you gotta again pick your side. It is often considered that change is beneficial to people than trying to avoid it and have everything remain the same. Do you think the advantage of change outweigh? Means it says some people want to change and then to remain static forever. So you gotta discuss whether this change has more advantage or disadvantage. So if you have advantage in change, you got to discuss how those advantages are, how change is beneficial. If not, you got to write the disadvantage of the change and then say the benefit of remaining the same. So this is opinion, because you got to pick a side. You have to give your idea, and that's what it means by opinion essay. Now let us move on to non-opinion. It says, in this type of essay, how do you identify this? Means discuss or write both advantage and disadvantage. Now, if you get this kind of question, you're dealing with non-opinion. So you cannot express your opinion. You cannot give your point of view. You cannot pick your side. So if you cannot pick your side, what are you supposed to do? It just tells you to write advantage and disadvantage. As simple and as flat as that. Let's look at this question. Many elderly people are no longer looked after by their families, but are out in care homes or nursing homes. What are the advantages and disadvantages of this trend? Means it says, so in the first paragraph, write down the advantages of elderly people living in homes or nursing homes, let's say. And at the same time, disadvantage of living in nursing homes. So here, please don't pick a side. All right, now let us move on to the last one. Oh, it's the second last, I mean. Okay, prompt-based. So when I say prompt-based, it means you're given a prompt. And then you're given two immediate questions, direct questions on the basis of prompt. And that's what I mean by prompt-based essay. So two direct questions. That means, now see, this is a prompt. It says, what does the prompt say? Success is often measured by wealth. Means success measured by wealth. So that if you are a successful person, it is because you're wealthy. And material belongings means success equals wealth plus material belonging. So this is the prompt. Do you think wealth is the best measure of success? It means, does this wealth, does this possession determine your success? So if you say yes, argue on one paragraph. If you say no, argue on the same. So it's like whether you agree or disagree. Whatever it is, just give your or express your point of view. And in the second paragraph, you have to write down what makes a successful person. Now, apart from this, if you have you could even say these are some of the relative measures, and there are other things that I feel people are successful or they are determined by their success. So you could write A, B, C, something like that. So in the first paragraph, argue the first question, and in the second paragraph, argue the second question. All right, now let us move on to the last question. Okay, cause, effect, or we call it as problem solution essay. So this means it's simple. For a given question, just write down the cause, effect, and solution of the issue. If it's a problem solution, write down what the problem is and what the effect of the problem is, and write down the solution to subdue or to reduce such problems. Now let us look into this question. Overpopulation in many major urban centers around the world is a major problem. So what is a major problem? So the question is already indicating you that it's the overpopulation. So overpopulation equals major problem. So this is the issue. So it says, what are the causes of this? What are the causes of O equals MP. And then you got to write this in the first paragraph. And in the second paragraph, you can write, how can this problem be solved? So how can O equals MP, how can this problem be solved? Means, how can you reduce this overpopulation so that it does not affect urban centers? So you got to write down the solution to those kinds of issues or issue. Now let us move on to the second question. It says, an increasing number of professionals such as doctors and teachers. Now I would want you to remember when it says such as doctors and teachers, remember the question is not telling only doctors and teachers. It says professionals could also mean any other professionals besides doctors and teachers. It could be engineers, it could be musicians, it could be anything. So just don't limit to doctors and teachers, because the question can't give you a list of all those professionals. So you got to understand. Are leaving their own poorer countries. So it says, for example, D plus T are leaving their home country. They're leaving there. So we call leaving such, we call it even as brain drain. All right. What problem does this cause? Means what are the causes of this brain drain? So what kind of problem does it, what are the problems that arises because of brain drain? Means when skilled people move abroad. And what solutions can you suggest to deal with this situation? So in order to restrict this, in order to discourage them, what are some of the ways to encourage them to stay in their country, going abroad country? So this is what cause effect problem solution, and this is how you're going to identify. I hope you found this video useful. Until we meet in the next video, I would like to sign off and say bye-bye, take care, and be safe.